I did get a question. Do you believe in aliens, Jack? Okay, but before I answer that, how about you two? Do you guys, do you believe in aliens? Why? We got a great answer of I don't fucking care. What about you two?
I kind of believe, but like Ollie, because there's probably something out there, but I don't think it's the same as us. But there's something probably. It's like
okay.
So big to just.
I've got a different question, okay? Because we're gonna clarify on this. Do you believe that there is other intelligent life capable of interstellar travel that has come to this planet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we gotta know this.
I'm not really sure. I want to believe, but at the same time, I don't know if it's true.
Okay, what do you believe then, Ollie? Regardless of whether it's true or not, what do you believe?
I believe UFOs exist. I believe that I believe the government is hiding some things from us, but
okay.
It's possible. Okay, a lot of people are gonna doubt it, but I think someday we're gonna find the truth.
Okay, so we got someday we're gonna find the truth that Area 51 is hiding aliens. All right, you, Tiger, do you think intelligent life has interstellarly traveled to Earth?
I don't think so, because if it has been in Earth before, we've probably seen. So I don't think it's like as we see in the movies or so.
Interesting.
I don't know. I think no.
Yeah, and plus if they existed, why would the government be hiding stuff from us?
If they existed, why would they come here?
Yeah, I don't think the government would have the power to hide from us.
Well, we'll never know because the government doesn't share things with us.
So real talk, the government did release an entire document about that recently.
Really?
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
I didn't see.
Okay. So let's talk. Let's talk about top down first. We'll get to the document eventually, but let's talk about this top down. Okay, when did these whole alien sightings really start becoming popular or like in everybody's like common knowledge? Good. Yeah, so we started getting basically around the time of radio and movies and people actually starting to have the capacity to take like photographs, right? Like not like phone photographs, but like being able to take like old black and white photos up until the point of like cameras that had film, right? Right. So during that time period, this is what it's known as basically like the height of alien sightings of that, where like hundreds of people started seeing alien sightings, and there was all these alien abduction cases of that. By the way, I took a university class about aliens and alien abductions and supernatural stuff, because I had an elective open and they're just like, hey, do you want to do like this like pseudoscience like supernatural studies? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do supernatural studies for like a couple semesters. Let's do it. Okay, so long story short, there was a correlation between UFO sightings and movies related to UFOs existing, okay? As there was more and more movies about like alien saucers and stuff like that, as that increased, the sightings of aliens existing in the world increased. Now, when you get into the police reports and the people that reported and stuff like that, a large majority of the people that had reported being alien abducted specifically, okay? So they were taken up into their ships, they were like probed, they were assaulted, and they made police reports because they were assaulted, right? The majority of those cases, the people after being interviewed, because like they had to take these cases seriously, like somebody has been assaulted, right? There was either the person had some mental problems, or that they had been sexually assaulted as a kid with some repressed memories, stuff like that. You have to remember that back in these days, going to a therapist or getting help for this kind of stuff was like not common at all. Like mental like health is like more of a nowadays thing that we're like, okay, yeah, we should take care of that. But a lot of these people had repressed sexual assaults on them from childhood, or been pedophily attacks of that. And basically, yeah. So a lot of these people were found that these things had been repressed, and then when they went to bed and went to sleep, stuff like that, they were basically reliving these things, but expressing them from the movies that they saw as aliens doing it to them, and that was their way of basically like reliving the trauma and like dealing with the trauma. Okay. Yeah, a lot of these people were under the sex. This is not theory. This was like proven that these people that were under specifically alien abductions with like sexual assault.
I learned a while back is that if a nuke was dropped on the North and South Pole, everyone on the planet would die because the oceans would rise so much it would flood every continent and would drown everyone.
We'll talk about drowning everybody by nuking continents in a little bit. So fast forward, okay? We have all these photographs that are being taken, but they're always fuzzy, and obviously the government during that time period was testing out new flying crafts because, hey, we just got off of World War II, and there might be a World War III coming up. We have the Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff like that. Let's have these secret like aeronautical vehicles flying around and testing in their own things. So during those time periods, we have grainy photos of our own vehicles that they just can't release because, hey, if we release these are our vehicles, hey, fucking Russia's gonna know about it. So have all those testing go down. Then we get more into like the 1990s and the 2000s. We start getting phones that can take pictures. We start getting photographs that are highly accurate. We start being able to have, like, it's becoming common that people have video cameras to see stuff flying around, right? And it dies. Like the ability for us to like take photos of like aliens and stuff like that drops off a cliff. Less photos are being taken, less videos are being taken. The better and better our technology for taking photos becomes, the less that these photos are actually being taken. And the ones that are being taken and shown us of that, there you can always test them, be just tested that they're doctored. Like the higher our technology went for like making fake stuff, the higher the fake amount of these things were made.
Nowadays we have AI can easily make something.
But you can test if it's an AI made thing. So long story short, whenever you get into like these like really good like visual evidences of like aliens flying around, so that it's always made by CG or some sort of like creation, and basically they have all these tests to test nowadays like, okay, it's fake.
There's a city in my country that like worships aliens.
Mm-hmm. So whatchamacallit, now we get into the next level. So that's base level, okay? That's just like observable evidence base level, right? There's a next level to it, okay? Do you really want to interact with aliens, right? Like, think for example, like something has the ability to interstellarly travel to us, right? We won't be able to communicate with them, right?
Yeah.
Just on the baseline, just language. It takes a while for you to learn language, right? Go ahead and speak up.
I forgot it was like the WoW message. I don't remember what it was. It was something about content.
They've been doing that for literally for decades, and we've never got back anything concrete from it.
If they send the signal, how will we know what are they saying? Because like in Earth we had so many languages and we don't know what they speak if they exist.
Well, here's the thing. What they're looking for is not an actual message, Ollie. What they're looking for is a repeatable return signal, right? So they put something out, right? And they get back something consistent. They put out the same thing, they get back something consistent. If they're able to repeat the experiment, right, and get the same result, okay, we have confirmation that by doing this, it exists, and the only way for this thing to come back to us is by some sort of other intelligent life form. We don't need to understand it. What that whole signal thing is they're putting out the consistent message constantly out over and over and over again, and they're hoping that something replies to it, and it also replies to it over and over again, so they can prove and verify, okay, this is not just a sun exploding, or this is not just some sort of pop from like an asteroid that like had a gas of a chamber. They need to be repeatable, right? The entire thing about the scientific community is that we need something to be repeatable and testable and verifiable. Whenever we say something is a theory, it's because, hey, we're able to do this, and when we do this, XYZ happens, and we're saying that XYZ happens because of elemental P, because we do elemental P and XYZ happens. Now, we call it a theory because like maybe 50 years from now, we can find out it's like, oh, we did elemental P, but we were accidentally doing Z. And Z was causing X, Y, and Z, right? So like, for example, gravity is a theory. You can jump up and down and you fall to the earth, and you can prove to yourself that gravity exists, right? So it's still a theory, right? Because they're still like messing around with some minor math. Like, we still mess around with the extremities, right? The core of it is real, right? We know 100% what the core of it is. But there's the rare cases. There's always that like 1 in a million case where gravity might work differently in a different situation for like the edges of a black hole or some random dumb bullshit like that, right? For example, like air, like our air is like what? 70% nitrogen right now, right? So that is theoretically what humans can live and exist with, right? But air back in the Cretaceous period was like 40% oxygen, and we have 40% oxygen. You can have massive bugs and stuff like that because bugs don't breathe through lungs; they breathe through their exoskeletons. They breathe through their bones. Does that make sense to you? Theories are theories because there's extreme situations that can change them, or we're opening ourselves up that, hey, if we find out something new, that we can change it. It's not set in stone. What were we talking about? Why did I get off on this off track on theories?
Aliens. We're talking about aliens.
We're gonna actually do this a lot more. This is like only my 3rd time doing VR, but this time I found a way that it doesn't make me sick. So we're gonna do this a lot more because this was a lot of fucking fun. Holy shit, this was way more fun than I was expecting. We got to talk about science a lot, and I love that.
My Christmas list.
Bitch, I read your Christmas list. All right, guys. Good night. Sleep tight. Have a happy New Year, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.